ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. In today's session, we will cover two suktas from Sage Kakshivan Dairgyatamasa Aushija in Drushtub Chanda. The first one is mainly on Indra. Kaditha nalu patram. When will Indra, who is fit for worship in a non-violent sacrifice, who is active in protecting the people, listen to the true words of wisdom of a sage, shining like burning charcoal, desiring enlightenment? When will he, dwelling in his mansion, pervade the people with humility and thus activate them? Indra here could mean universal Jivatma. His mansion is the heart space of human beings. He inspires people who meditate on Indra as Jivatma. Stambhithadyam 121.2. Indra, the great upholder of the earth, is a genius and a leader of men. For the sake of good food and knowledge, he gives utterance to the Vedic speech, which is most acceptable, like a daughter of a vast kingdom, and he gives mother-like protection to it. He gives substance or existence to space and objects within it. He only multiplies wealth on the earth for the benefit of all, like water wets the field. Indra is the protector of Vedic knowledge. In all works, Indra symbolizes universal manifested self or universal Jivatma. 121.3. Nakshadhavamaruni. That mighty, zealous Indra, who is worshipped by ancient sages, bring forth the ruddy Usha every day for the benefit of the quadrupeds, bipeds and human beings. He sends out the mighty weapon Vajra against wicked enemies. He upholds the space. He shines as a king among the pranas or vital breaths. No additional explanation may be necessary on this. 121.4. Asyamade Swaryam Da. Indra, ruler of three worlds, earth, atmosphere and the space, engages an excellent army of Maruts or enlightened souls endowed with strength for the welfare of human beings and cows and for the protection of Ruta. They only drive away cattle killers and open the door of happiness to all. Indra, in association with Maruts, Jivatma with Pranas, keeps all human beings alive, active and happy. 121.5. Tubhyam payo yat pidara. O Indra, protectors of the universe, space and earth, brought forth for your sake nutritious and invigorating milk and wealth on the earth. People honor and worship you for the gift of milk cows and that give pure milk, which is an admirable wealth. Adha prajajne Like the sun from the dawn, Usha, Indra shines like a fire shining with oblations of milk and other articles sprinkled by means of a ladle in a non-violent sacrifice. By taking people away from miseries, he gladdens all like a drop of Atmiya Soma or the moon. By doing this admirable work, he becomes famous. From the second part of the Rit, one can infer that here also Indra implies universal Jivatma. 121.7 Svidva Yadvana. Indra performs the good act of making the forest to contain good wood. He is doing good work in preserving and guarding the cattle. He shines like the sun in non-violent sacrifices performed on all days for the growth of all animals, including those used for yoking to chariots for quick movement. This non-violent sacrifice implies the sacrifice for creation of this universe. The sun supplies energy required for maintaining the grass bodies of animals and plants, while Indra bestows on them Jivatma. This fact is implied by the Ruk. 121.8 Ashta Mahodiva Ado. O Indra, for augmenting your strength, you provide an army of warriors. Then you appear in your chariot, which is drawn by spiritual light rays, which are like the rays of the sun in the great space, along with the cloud, creating a well or resource of glorious strength. You shower on us all types of wealth, which include horses and cows that take in air for breathing and that lead to our happiness. Indra takes the support of Maruts or Pranas. He, with his spiritual rays, which are similar to sun's rays, appears in the bodies of living beings and bestows existence and consciousness on them. 121.9 Tvamaya Samprati. O Indra, invoked by many, you are like the sun who dispels darkness by driving away the clouds. In your hands, you take that powerful weapon made of iron with the help of a wise man. Arming yourself with the necessary strength, you move forward, destroying innumerable cow killers with that weapon while keeping it away from the cows. Indra is conceived of as a wielder of Vajra by the wise sages, which can be thunderbolt in the physical sense and rays of spiritual light with reference to Jivatma. Cow killers are disturbing thoughts in one's own mind. These are enemies of Indra mentioned in the next trick, 1.21.10. Pura Yad Suras Tamaso. O ruler of clouds, Indra, you shine, destroying your enemies like the sun shining in the space, dispersing the darkness-producing clouds with his light. May you chain well those foes whom you have restrained before. Please remove the strength of the enemy who gives joy to the wicked and exploits the people by throwing your weapons against the enemy cloud. 121.11 Anutva Mahi Pajasi. O Indra, you hurl your mighty weapon, and with that Vajra you strike the wicked enemy, hitting him in his nerve center. He is a killer of good persons and has been sleeping for a long time. The vast and powerful protectors, namely the unrestrained space and earth, praise that glorious deed of yours. Meanings of these lyrics need not require any additional explanation. 121.12 Tvamindra Naryo Yang, sage-like desirer of good to people, O Indra, you protect persons who lead men to wisdom and practice pranayama. May you remain with them in their righteous duties. For destroying the cloud, you make use of that accelerating Vajra which is capable of destroying enemies. 121.13 Tvam Suro Harito Ramayo. O Indra, you support leaders of men who are free for attachment to physical objects, like the sun radiating his rays, or like a good horse making the wheel of a chariot rotate. You take 90 boats or ships to take men across the sea to the opposite shore. You make industrious men to dig well and make us happy. Indra reveals spiritual knowledge to men who do not identify themselves with their bodies. In that way, Indra has made many men enlightened earlier. Opposite shore stands for the painless state, Brahman. Such active men make people happy by showering spiritual knowledge on them. 121.14 Tamno Asya Indra, O wielder of Vajra, possessor of chariot, Indra, may you protect us in battle with a powerful army, Marut, which is difficult to be destroyed, and also from sinful activities. Please bestow on our kith and kin who are endowed with knowledge and strength, wealth of all kinds, such as horses, and also happiness. Last verse in this sukta, 121.15. Masate asmat, O possessor of abundant wealth, superior in strength, Indra, by your grace, may not good intellect be withdrawn from us. May all of us have good food and knowledge. May you, our Lord, make us possessors of cows, land, knowledge, etc. Becoming exceedingly generous, may we be ever full of that great bliss with you. The great bliss implies bliss associated with Brahman. This marks the end of chapter 8 of Ashtakam 1. We start off with Ashtakam 2, chapter 1, Suktam 122. This is also from Kakshiva and the Irkhitamasa, Rishi. Vishvedeva Devata, Trishtup Chanda. Once more. Prava Pamtam 122.1. O mild-tempered men, like heroes with their quivers, you present to the bountiful Rudra sacrificial offerings of articles of food and auspicious hymns. I praise him with Maruts, who are the sons of that supreme spirit of the shining space and who are present in the atmosphere which is in between the space and the earth. The Sruk is in praise of Rudra and his sons, the Maruth. Rudra could be the Supreme Spirit, or Supreme Spirit may imply the Self. Shining space means the heart space of human beings. 122.2 Patniva Purvahurim. Like a noble wife, always attending first to the call of her husband for helping him to grow physically and spiritually, and they become learned together. Dawn and night personified. One Usha, full of splendor with the golden rays of the sun, and very beautiful to look at, and the other night, covering the sun as though with a well-woven garment, protect all creatures on the earth. Day and night keep control the lifetime of all born beings. 122.3 Mama Tuna Parishma. Let the omnipresent Sun, destroyer of demon darkness, delight us. May showerer of rain, wind, gladden us. O Indra and cloud, please sharpen our intellect. May all shining beings or enlightened souls favor us. It's quite self-explanatory. 122.4 Udatya me yashasa. Son of a mighty person desiring wisdom, I, for my reputation and light of knowledge, invoke Ashwins who are breathing through the whole body, who are mighty protectors, who make me respectable and who enhance the usefulness and span of my life. O sacrificers, do not allow water to flow down unnecessarily. Here, Ashwins are Paramatma Jivatma twin, who pervade the entire bodies of all living creatures. Residing in the heart space of each, they protect all men. 122.5 Avoruvannima Avushijo. Avoruvannima Avushijo. O shining beings, son of a man desiring wisdom, I praise you earnestly to put into practice what you preach, which is like the speech of absolutely truthful persons meant for removing all sorrows, for nourishment and for charity. I also nicely glorify the liberality of Agni. 122.6 Shrutam me Mitravaruna. O Mitravaruna, please listen to this hymn of mine attentively. May this be heard within this house and also everywhere else. Like a river irrigates the land, may the renowned bestowers of wealth hear our words attentively. Stushesa Vam Varuna Mitra. 122.7 O Mitra Varuna, ascending your fast-moving, famous, favorite chariots today, please come here carrying nourishing food, thus removing sufferings of the people. You give to those self-controlled seekers of knowledge or truth hundreds of inspiring words of advice. We praise you for your generosity. 122.8 Asyas Tushe Mahimaghasya. I pray for that wealth consisting of many horses, chariots, and riches for me. In company with our heroes, we shall strive to attain that path by which a person bound to his deeds, good or bad. Mounting on a fast moving chariot becomes rich in food and knowledge. That wealth implies self knowledge, which leads one to infinite material wealth of the universe when he gets identified himself with the self. 122.9 Janoyo Mitra Varuna. O Mitra Varuna, anyone who does you wrong or harms you indirectly contracts for himself serious illness with respect to the heart. On the other hand, one who follows Rita in his dealings, he attains you enjoying happiness by his admirable action. Serious illness is ignorance of the existence of Atma within the heart space of each person. Mitra and Varuna are timekeepers for the creator of the universe. In that respect, they are maintainers of Rita. Sabradhato Nahusho 122.10 Urged on by the destroyers of enemies, that hero whose praises one likes to hear, who is a munificent giver of gifts, who moves with admirable strength, who is industrious, who has renounced among men and is ever undaunted in all combats, even against mighty enemies, who goes to fight with his foes, he gains victory. The hero could be the seer of the Sukta himself. The victory implies self-knowledge, as can be seen from the riffs that follow. 122.11 Adha Manta Nahusho Havam. O charming, shining beings, please listen to the hymns of an enlightened mortal who considered himself immortal. You who move in the space may protect the wealth of a guardianless man and grant wealth for him who moves in a chariot of his own, namely his body, for great renown. The seer says that he considers himself as immortal. May the shining beings protect this body as long as it lives on the earth, since it has no mortal eye attached to it to protect it. Edam Satham Dhama 122.12 Givers of riches, enjoying wealth, giver of riches, enjoying wealth, I acquire the powerful position which is told by great scholars who are possessors of tenfold knowledge, which they give to all. Real worth can be brought about in these sacrifices. Thinking thus, I shall drive away sorrows by serving all those scholars. Tenfold knowledge is about 10 protectors of the body, 5 external sensory organs, and 5 organs of action, or the controllers of sensory organs and the corresponding sensors. Real worth is the one, namely birthless Brahman. That one only is real, all the rest are manifestations. 122.13 Mandamahe Dashata Yasya. We admire those 5 controls to which both food or strength and information of the upholders of 10 protectors go. These masters decorate the bodies of accomplishers of tasks. Bearing them, we gladden those leaders of men. Then why will not a man become a master of his horses or spiritual light race and controller of the reins? 5 controls are in the mind. These get information from external sensory organs and they monitor, also control activities of the external organs. Signal for control is provided by the sense organs. The 5 controls in the mind control and give instruction to 5 organs of action. Knowing about the activities of the organs and their controllers, one should be able to become their master. 122.14 Hiranyakarnam Manigriva. O praiseworthy shining beings, may the hymns of praise issuing out of our mouths and sacrificial offerings of milk, ghee, etc. bring honor to you and us now. May you give us sons who are decorated with golden earrings, jewels and necklaces. 122.15 The last ruk. Last ruk in this sukta. Chatvaro ma. O Mitra Varuna, may your chariot arrive at my house, who is a man of noble words, who keeps all articles in abundance, who is victorious, who has acquired 4 kinds of knowledge and is ruled over by 3 deities or bodies. Ray of light is spiritual, draws the chariot of the vast form of the Lord, shines like the bright rays of the sun. 4 kinds of knowledge contained in the Vedas are about the gross world, observed one, the subtle world, the causal world, and about Atma. The 3 bodies that rule over a human being are gross, subtle, and causal. In this way, we end today's session. Viramasthavad.